I have two friends, Janet DeLong, PhD, and her father is the founder of the First Stone Project. And Michael Foley, he served our military, the U.S. military, for 30 years. He has the strength to save, he used that to save lives. And so what our goal is to unite our strength as Christians to save lives. What we need to do is put down our differences. It doesn't make any matter what's happened in the past. People have told me for years that one person cannot change the world. However, one person with God or God can change the world. So we need to rise up and to go. I'd like to introduce you Michael Foley, Reverend Michael McLean Foley.
My name is Michael Foley, and I'm here to talk about the First Stone Project. It's actually a ministry. We're really trying to get people to understand what this whole thing is about. This man, Glenn DeLong, was a Episcopalian priest, and he was kind of in charge of a camp area for Christian people to go and go in the summer and different parts of the year. And he was talking one time to his flock and the people that were in his office, and they were bickering back and forth and kind of backbiting and just kind of getting in each other's case. And he was watching them, and he says, this isn't good, this isn't good. So he stood up without saying anything, walked out into the garden, kind of looked around, found a stone, a rock, about the size of your fist. And he brought it back inside, sat down with some white out or something, and he just painted first on it, F-I-R-S-T, first, on this stone. Went back in where these people were still hammering at each other, put the stone on the table and kind of slid it out in the middle of them, and just kind of looked at their reaction, like, what are you gonna do? And so they look and they go, What's this all about? And he says, well, come on, figure it out. You guys, you all call yourself Christians, you're supposed to be good, holy people. Well, look at that darn thing and you tell me what it means. And so they're, well, I don't know, first stone. And he says, those among you who are without sin, cast the first stone. And they kind of got immediately convicted, because it kind of slapped them in the face, and they said, okay, well, I'm definitely not the one who's going to pick that up and throw it at anybody. And he said, so why are you throwing those verbal stones at each other? And boy, that place was silent. They looked at each other and, oh, I'm sorry, But it was a really cool thing for this guy to do, and it made such an impact on him. Well, that was like 1973 when he painted first on his first stone. Well, in 1991, his daughter Janet, she decided this was such a cool thing. This was such an awesome thing that my dad did. So she went out and she got a bunch of stones, took them to a place that engraved them instead of just painting them on. We engraved them into those stones, so now they're permanent. So when you look at that, it looks more like something God's trying to tell you. Get the idea? And I want to give you an idea here. Okay. Yeah, I walk around with the first stone in my pocket. This is one of them right here. Now we zoom in a little bit. You can see first is engraved right in the stone. And what we're doing, our ministry, is to get one of these in everybody's house. And there's a lot of ways to display them. We have, well, in my house, I have this piece of driftwood. It's really totally cool. And kind of a wavy looking piece of driftwood. I have my first stone sitting on it, and I'm digging around in my pocket. Yeah, I've got the little ones here, and these are go stones. Now you can't really see this. The engraving isn't all that hot, but it's on there, and it says G-O ... Now the ... part, that's kind of important, because if we look back and we remember what Jesus was actually telling the people when they were getting ready to cast the stones and stone that woman to death, And he got done with his little speech to him, and the woman came up and said, "Thank you, Rabbi, obviously for saving her life. What shall I do now?" And he just, gave her some good advice and said, "Go and sin no more." And the go stone symbolizes that. So what I do with my family, I have the first stone sitting there on that nice piece of driftwood, and I've got a go stone for everybody sitting next to it. So when we're on our way out the door, we stop by, we pick up our go stone, we put it in our pocket, so that when we're out there in the world and somebody comes up to us and they say, "Hey man, let's go out and party and drinking and all that stuff," you reach in your pocket for some money and you feel that, uh-oh, and now you get convicted, and you go and sin no more. Nope, can't go with you guys. You gotta go home. So then you go home, you take the go stone out of your pocket, so you look at it and you remember, oh, this just saved my soul today, didn't it? And you put it back down there right next to your first stone, and when you see the first stone, you're convicted again. Well, I'm not without sin. I can't pick that up and cast it at anybody. So if we realize we can't be out there in the world hurling stones of any kind, isn't that going to be a better place to live? So that's our mission. That is our ministry, is to get these stones out. Everybody will have one. Everybody will be reconvicted every time they reach in their pocket and they touch their go stone. Every time they come home and they see the first stone sitting right there by the front door. And when they get home and they put the stone down in their little tray or whatever they have, that reminds them again, oh, I'm home with my loved ones. I shouldn't be casting any stones here either. So we're asking, if you're interested in something like this, get involved, jump on board, help us out with this. We can affect the world. The simple thing like a stone that we can find laying around, we get it engraved, let it convict your heart. That's all I have to say about that. Thank you.